over the weekend, I don't know if you guys heard about how we almost got sued, how all kinds of hell broke loose over our little holiday weekend. Did you hear about this, Rich?
No,
Kyle,
I
did you
did
hear
not.
about this?
No.
I'll give you a quick little rundown. I'm going to connect a couple stories. So I got my friend Jim. He owns this Pro Motorsports where I go to get my cars, my car, like, wheels and little windows tinted, and I get these aftermarket wheels and stuff. And every year he has a huge party before spring training starts. Is spring training starting or is it ending?
Yeah, it's starting.
Oh, okay, so I'm kind of out of it right now with the baseball thing. And every year he's got about 250 Major League Baseball players that come to this party. And the party's tonight. And every year I go to the party, not because I'm a baseball fan. The last couple of years, because I take my kids to meet all these baseball players. And remember how I told you I had a nail or a screw in my tire? And then he fixed it and he ordered me a new tire. And he texted me yesterday. He said, "Hey, your tire's in." And I said, "Okay." And he goes, I go, "When do you want me to come by, get the tire?" He goes, "Just come by tomorrow." I said, "All right." He goes, "Come by the party too." And I said, "All right, well, if I come by the party," I said, "do I just bring my car there in the middle of the party? Because the party's at his place." I go, "You going to fix my tire, put on the new tire in the middle of your party? You let me borrow a car and I go to my son's baseball practice and come back?" I'm like, "When are you going to do? When are you going to do the tire?" Right? And he goes, "Just come by before the party and I'll put the new tire on." I'm like, okay. So let me put that little part of the story on hold. Let me jump back. So Rich and I do commercials for Peoria Ford. Pat Hickey is the owner of Peoria Ford. And Pat Hickey always lets me borrow a pickup truck whenever I go skiing with my family or whatever. So I borrowed an F-150 pickup truck this weekend. When I got in the pickup truck to drive it home, it had, they dropped off my house, and I went to go pick up my sister in the pickup truck. She was flying in. And the truck had, like, the wheels on it said, like, 40 PSI, 40 PSI, 40 PSI, 17 PSI on one of the tires.
17 would be the bad one in this scenario.
And I was like, I'm not driving this thing. Let my sister drive that.
Oh, you're going to let your sister drive it? Did you give her the heads up at least? Like, hey, the tire's low.
So I let my brother-in-law in that truck. So my brother-in-law drove that truck. And then we're halfway on the drive. It's a 4-hour drive. He's like, "Hey, Johnjay, I think there's a problem with the tire. It's at 17 PSI. I go, "I'm not a car guy. Are you a car guy? You can figure it out." I go, you 2.5 hours in the drive? I go, we'll stop by, put some air in it, I guess. So anyway, put that on hold. That story on hold.
Okay.
Before that, a couple days before that, we cut commercials for this Pat Hickey guy who owns Peoria Ford. And one of the commercials says, "We're giving away a 100-inch TV. You buy a car President's Day weekend before noon, you get a 100-inch TV." Do you remember that commercial?
I do.
Right? Because I was going, wow, because I have like a 60-inch TV at my house. A 100-inch TV? That's pretty damn huge. I can't imagine. And then I think it was before noon, you buy a 100-inch TV. Afternoon, it's kind of stupid if you think about it.
I felt like it was the first couple of... I remember hearing that, yeah. And I remember thinking the same thing, but go ahead.
A 100-inch TV before noon, you buy a car. Afternoon, you get a 100-inch TV. I don't know, it was stupid.
Yeah.
Well, it's his idea, did the commercial. Pat Hickey texts me after the weekend, and he says, "Dude, you're causing me," he says, "you're causing me a lot of heat for these commercials." I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "A lot of heat, legal heat." I said, "What kind of legal heat?" He goes, "I said in the commercial, hundreds of inches of TVs. I didn't say 100-inch TVs." And I said, and I'll show you the text, I used a lot of vulgar language. And I said, "Nobody talks like that. Who says hundreds of inches of TVs?" I go, "Is that going to get people to come in and buy cars?" Nobody says, "Oh my God, let's go to Peoria Ford. There's hundreds of inches of TVs."
What does that even mean?
I go, "If you tell me I'll buy a car, you get a free 100-inch TV, that makes sense."
Right.
And he goes, "I have a 50-inch TV, and I have two 50-inch TV or 50-inch TVs for whatever time period. You buy a car at this time, you get a 50-inch TV. You buy a car, whatever. So it's 100 inches of TVs that I'll give away."
Oh, so you read it the way it was written.
So he goes, "Well, he said it's hundreds of inches of TV," and I call Bill. I go, "Send me what the guy wrote." And so I screen cap what the guy wrote, and it says 100-inch TVs. So I sent it to him, and I said, "Hey," lots of cuss words. I go, "Here's what the commercial said. You wrote this." And he goes, "Oh, I totally screwed up."
Oh, no. Looks like he's going to buy 100-inch TVs and returning those 50-inch TVs.
I haven't seen a 100-inch TV yet, and I look at TVs all the time. It's one of my favorite things to do. So I haven't even seen them out there yet.
That's why I was like, even in the commercial, I was like, "Whoa, we're giving away, you guys giving away a 100-inch TV?"
I've seen the 85-inch.
It made me want to maybe possibly go buy a new car for a 100-inch TV.
Right, sure.
So then I said to him yesterday, I said, "So when's this thing end? Because this is pretty impressive." And he was like, "It's over." So don't go rushing over the Peoria Ford to try to buy a 100-inch TV. Because then I thought, I don't know what kind of legal issue this guy got into, but I wonder, I just pictured like, all you see this footage, all these people protesting with the new president. I mean, all these people protesting, where's my 100-inch TV?
I'm glad.
I bought a Fiesta. Where's my 100-inch TV? Because I got to believe a 100-inch TV costs about as much as a Fiesta.
Right now, I'm seeing one for $60,000 online.
Yeah, I didn't think they were cheap. Yeah. So I'm glad that didn't darken my doorstep, because if I would have heard about that, I would have had a full-on panic attack. I would have gone full-on Randall in the floor of his office, referencing This Is Us.
So anyway, Jim at Pro Motorsports. So today, my plan is I get off the air. I'm going to drive all the way to Jim at Pro Motorsports and get the wheel put on, my new wheel put on my car, and then come home and do whatever I was going to do. So as I get to the station this morning, and I park and I come up and I realize, plan out the rest of my day. I didn't bring the car that needs a new wheel. I drove that stupid pickup truck from Peoria Ford with the 17 PSI on it.
But that might need a new wheel.
It might need a new wheel. So I'm going to go, just put that old wheel on this pickup truck. So I plan out my whole day around getting my new wheel, and I'm not driving my car. I'm driving the stupid F-150. That will not get me a free 100-inch TV.
I'll make you feel a little bit better. If you drove around all weekend and it's still at 17 pounds, you probably don't have an air leak. It probably just needs air.
Well, my brother-in-law put air in it, and so I don't know. I didn't look at it for what it is. But the thing is,
you live 5 minutes away from work.
I know, but
would it really be that difficult
it
to
is.
just go home?